we enjoy the benefit of spiritual wealth that we have found. We must give freely and gratefully that which has been freely and gratefully given to us.
Thank you so much for reading that long reading, the longest time.
Thank you.
To share his experience, strength, and hope tonight, all the way from Brooklyn, New York, we have Raymond Ramos.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's good to be here. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, like he said. And this 11th step, I want to say this, right? I fought so hard. I fought tooth and nail, this whole God thing, higher power thing, man. I so did not want to join the God squad. You know what I mean? Those idiots. You know, the literature quoting. I want to thank my higher power for another. Oh my God. I wanted to hit somebody with a chair, man. And so I came in here, you know, when this is 11th step meeting, but I can't just jump into 11th step. I came in here with profound religious abuse, spiritual abuse, religious sexual abuse. You know what I mean? Like this just, I came in here with a wedge between me and God, me and spirituality. I was at a second step meeting yesterday. I'm sitting in the meeting and I'm like, man, this second step changed my life, man. The second step, you know, helped me to put things in perspective, get things in order, help me to understand, like, you know, we have a process in Narcotics Anonymous of coming to believe that's very simple, very practical, but very powerful. And you know, so I don't got time to get into all that, but I will tell you that it says in the second step that many of us lacked a working relationship with a power, with a working relationship. It didn't say we didn't have one. Obviously, if you're in recovery, if you're like me, I should be dead. The Rastafarian should have killed me. The Dominican should have killed me. All this stuff, you know what I mean? I should not be clean. But there was something looking out for me that I could never really put together. And so it says we lack the working relationship with the power. And then it goes on to say that all we have to do to begin this relationship is simply believe in the possibility, right? It is possible. I don't got to make any concrete commitments. No decision. It's possible that maybe there is something out there looking out for me based on my own experience, right? I was young when I got clean. If you guys know me, I got clean. I was 17 years old. Who gets clean at 17 years old in 1990? You know, who does that? And just the whole the miracle after miracle. It says in the third tradition that if the addict has a desire to stop using, all right, I think I can mute them, right? No, I'm not coach here. All right. It says in the third tradition that when an addict has a desire in the a desire, right, that miracles, multiple plural miracles happen. And I had a desire to stop using. I didn't have a desire to get spiritual. I didn't have a desire to work steps. I didn't want to do no, you know, I wasn't interested in recovery. I was suffering, man. I wanted the pain to stop. And so, but with the desire, miracles happen. Without the desire, the addict is doomed. That's bad news. All right. So I had the desire to stop using. I didn't know I was willing to make a commitment to recovery. Like there's other add-ons. I had a desire to stop using. I was 17 years old. I was a stark raving lunatic. I heard people in NA. I heard people in my neighborhood clean. I went to jail clean. I done things that I'm disgusted with. You know, I wish I wasn't that sick. I was that sick. I can still be that sick if I don't work this program. And so I said this is possible. Second step, it's possible that there's something looking out for me. Then it says, as we see other people recovering, they told us what's working for them. It says, confronted with this evidence, we began to accept the existence of a power grid. So I saw other people. I see you guys, all these miracle squares here, and all this stuff that's going on. And you guys are tangible evidence that there's something that's working miracles. That miracles happen in NA. That a clean day for an addict is a miracle. It defies the laws of nature. It's a miracle for an addict to be clean. And so I seen all these miracles in NA. I had to accept. There's something working here. Something is popping off here. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it's not real. Just because you got religious abuse and all this stuff, Raymond, something is going on. And then the last thing it says in the second step, and I'll move on, is that as we see coincidences and miracles happening in our lives, acceptance becomes trust. I don't know if you see the progress. Possibility, acceptance, trust. Trust is a synonym of faith. I began to trust that there's a power. I began to, so I entered this relationship. And then the third step in the working guide, it says some other stuff that's crazy. It says, as important as it is to find out who a higher power is, who this power is, it's more important, the literature says. As important as it is to find out who you are, it's more important, it says, to develop a relationship with whatever this power is. So it's talking about a relationship in the third step. In the second step in the step working guide, I was able to identify, check it out, and overcome my barriers. Second step hit. Again, I had to, this happened to me in a church basement. There can't be a God. This happened, my no father, my best, I got a list of, there is no good God. God is not loving and caring. God is, God cannot be trusted. I had a whole fourth step of life situations that I'm not getting with God. That if God was good to you, God bless you, but he was not good to me. And I was in so much trauma, so much pain, coming from a place of hurt that I couldn't get with the God squad yet and all that good stuff. And so that's why it's 12 steps, not one step, not 11, it's 12 steps. I did the work. Whoever read it said, having entered this phase in our recovery, we differ in degree of sickness and rate of recovery. There's different phases of recovery. Has nothing to do with clean time. Has to do with work that we do and capacity and process. And we differ in degree of sickness and rate of recovery. And so it took me a while, took me 4.5 years with a loaded gun, thinking about killing myself, to finally say, yo, my sponsor was an old man, very disrespectful old man back then. They didn't care about your feelings. They would tell you the most roughest, ridiculous, it was crazy. My sponsor said, yo, you're going to kill yourself, you little, bleep, 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 bleep. He says, why don't you just surrender to a higher power? How about that? All over the world, I just got to work the same program. I don't know why you think you're so smart and you're so different and you're so cool and you're such a gangster that you don't got to work the same stuff. If you want what we have to offer and are ready to make the effort, willing, so I had my sponsor, yo, get with God, you idiot. You're going to kill yourself? Get with God. And so that was my process. And my sponsor was not a nice person, an old man. And he was just telling me, you're hustling backwards. You're hustling. This is a God-given program. The power that brought you to the rooms is still with you and can help you if you would, and I begin. So step work, sponsorship, listening to speakers, pain is an incredible motivator, right? So I learned. I remember my sponsor told me once, he said, yo, I want you to go home, throw your sneakers under the bed. That little corny suggestion they used to give back in the days. I want you to throw your sneakers under the bed. And when you're down there, I want you to thank your higher power for another day clean. And when you go get them in the morning, I want you to ask your higher power for another day. And I was like, yo, that's some corny. I said, why am I going to pray when I don't even believe in God? Me and God are not cool. God can go to hell. And if you believe in God, you can go to hell too. Stay the hell away. I'm not with it, bro. I'm not playing games. I coming from pain. God, all my life, I think I'm going to hell. All my life, God is punishing me. All my life, God got a hammer in his hand. So to this whole idea of a loving, caring God was not, it took time. So I told my sponsor, I'm not going to pray. I'm not going to pray. I don't even believe. He said, Papito. He didn't say Papito. He cursed me out again. He said, check it out. I didn't ask you to believe. I asked you to pray. You asked me to sponsor you, then take my suggestions. Get on your knees and pray. I'll believe. You don't got to believe. And he told me that did you take a suggestion? I took suggestion. I prayed. I said a stupid, silly prayer, right, Frankie? To a stupid, silly God that I did not believe in. I said a stupid, silly prayer to a stupid, silly God that I did not believe in. And 30 years later, I'm engaged in a sacred romance. You understand? I've been through different processes, highs and lows. I've been in this place in recovery. I've been mad spiritual. I've been very unspiritual. I could shift in a minute, right? I got this mad spiritual, I could shift, it's just for today, right? But I learned how to pray. I learned how to pray. Somebody said, talk to God from your heart, right? I didn't know how to pray. I was talking to people, yo, how do you pray? How do you pray? They said, talk to your God. Like Wilson told me in Brooklyn, or Kuso told me, I'm sorry. He said, pray like you're taking a burning desire. And in New York, we have burning desire. I don't got time. But pray like you're taking a burning desire. Like, I want to use. I'm gonna kill somebody. I gotta, just share. Like, yo, keep it real, keep it funky. No cut, no. Just share from your heart. So I started praying, and I say, I don't know if you're effing up there, higher power, God, but if you're effing up there, I'm effing going crazy. And I would curse. I would use mad profanity talking to God. That was it. That was what's in my heart. And people were, oh, Raymond, you can. God will meet me anywhere. The third step says we could be honest about our feelings. God knows me. God knows I'm twisted. And he knew me when I was smoking crack. How much more he's going to love me now? And the second step talks about loving and caring. So I looked up loving and caring. I understood. I went through a process that God is not mad at me. Check it out. To the contrary, this is my experience. I thought God was mad at me all my life. God, you're going to get punished. God knows your secrets. You're a bad, all that. I was messed up. I would stick pencils in kids' ears. I stabbed my sister. I was bugged out before the drugs. You understand? And I knew I was, I found out that God is not mad at me. He's mad about me. He loves me. He loves me so much. He didn't let the people kill me. He didn't let me do that. He didn't let me blow trial. He brought me to Narcotics Anonymous. That's how much God loves me, that he brought me here to an incredible fellowship, incredible literature. And now all I got to share with your God, I'm bugging. I got an issue with redhead women with freckles. Please help me. I see a redhead woman. I got no recovery when I see a woman with redhead and freckles. 6 and 7 step. God, help me. She got redhead and freckles. God, I talked to God from my heart. God, this sucker, this guy in the home group, he was a punk on the street, and he wants to walk around any like he's a gangster. I want to check him. I want to hem him up. God says, pray for him, papito. Pray for him. I learned how to talk to God from my heart. It's not always spiritual. It's not always sexy. It's not always literature-based spiritual. It's sometimes it's disgusting, dirty, sleazy stuff that I'm talking to God. I'm praying to God from my heart. And God loves me, and God, so that's my higher power. Meditation, there's different forms, listening to God, right? Listening to God. When I got clean, they used to say, yo, don't get up your seat for nothing. Use the bathroom before the meeting. This is 90 minutes. You can hear something that can save your life. Don't go smoke a cigarette. You sit down, you shut, George P. and them in Williamsburg, you sit down, you shut up, you don't, and I would just, okay. First of all, I like nobody talking to me like that, but I understood. All right. And so you listen in the meeting. Listen in the meeting. What's going on? Listen to what's going on. I got a monkey brain. I got ADHD, HBO, CBS, AB. I got mad stuff in my head. All right. I got mad stuff in my head. You understand? When I meditate, porn comes to my mind. Right back then, I got a little bit better today. But I would sit down and say, I'm gonna focus on my breathing. I'm gonna just chill. And then I think about dirty, filthy crap. I'm gonna kill somebody, shoot this one. I was bugged out. Like, people, there's a saying, anyway, today is much different. Do step work. The step work in NA cleanses our soul. We experience healing. I get to tear down those walls that are hindering me from intimacy with a higher power, those misinformation, the religious idea, all the stuff that was blocking me. I was able to address that in the step work. And now I'm chasing after a relationship with God through prayer and meditation. You can write your prayers. You can share your prayer. It says in the Living Clean book that when we share from our hearts, those are prayers, right? Check that out. You don't even know when you're sharing at a meeting, God can hear that as a prayer. You don't even, I'm so twisted. I don't know the difference, but God knows the difference. You know what I mean? And so, and learning how to sit still. And now I meditate. I sit still. I just focus on my breathing. I sit still and focus on the one spot on the wall. I sit still. I got the daily meditation where I'll mule over the literature. I'll chew on it. Somebody in a meeting, in a convention said, meditation is like a cow has 3 stomachs, and you chew on it and then you spit it out and you chew on it. So I was like, oh, that's disgusting. But it's a muling over information, looking at the literature, studying the literature, meditating on the literature. You know what I mean? I became one of those guys studying meditation on literature, on and on and on. Today I pray while I'm driving. I pray in the shower. I pray standing. I pray on my knee. I have an ongoing, discussion with my higher power. I'm talking to God throughout the day. I'm praying for other people. I'm praying. Listen, the 11th step piece, right? I'm praying for power It says results count. This is explicit in the 11th step. If I'm praying and I'm meditating and I've done all this work, but I don't got peace and I don't got a increased concern for others and I don't have emotional balance and the stuff that we just read, there's what we call mile markers. There's things that are supposed to appear in my 11th step as I'm living it out, as I'm practicing these principles. Do I have emotional balance? Am I still emotionally volatile? Can I still pop off in a minute and be crazy? Is that the exception or is that the rule? You understand? Do I have a concern for others? Do I have a spiritual wealth that it talks about? You understand? And I've been able to learn in this. I have a crazy relationship with God. I've been able to help other people get with a higher power. I was so far from God to now what I'm doing today. People ask me all the time all over the world. People outside of NA, people pay me to talk to them. Say, yo, can I get an hour of your time? Sure. Just it's been incredible what God has done in my life. You understand? And so that's my time.
You have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. No problem. All right. 5 minutes. So I've learned how to be still. I don't got time for all the stories today, but I learned how to be still. If I'm not, check it out, me, I learned this. If the more intimate, the more prayer, the more communication with God, the more intimacy, not fake, not religion, not make-believe, not hallucination. The more intimate I am, my higher power, the more peace I have. The more patience I have. The more unconditional love I can give to others. The more I'm spending time with God. When my connection with God is right, I can love other people. When it's not right, the littlest thing, I could blow up over the littlest thing, right? I'd be bugging out. But when my relationship with God is on point, then I'm feeling good, like a recovering addict should, right? I feel peace. I want to share the peace with you. I feel compassion. NA works. I've been clean since I'm 17 years old. I've been through all types, buried kids, buried my sponsor, buried my mother. I've been through tragedies. I've been through storms. I've been through mad stuff. I'm still clean. My higher power has kept me, right? Well, many times I wanted to give up. The fellowship has embraced me. Sometimes, even though I have a great relationship with God, sometimes God can still stand for a group of drug addicts. Sometimes there's the fellowship that's embracing me. It's crazy. I love Narcotics Anonymous. I love my fellowship. I know my time is coming to an end. Listen, if you have a problem with God, it's okay. Most people do. Está bien, no problem. Work the steps, please. Work the steps, your own journey. You don't got to be like me. You don't got to believe in my higher power. Find the higher power that gives you peace, that heals your hurts, that restores you to sanity, that gives you comfort in the midst of the storm. It's possible. It's available. We do recover. NA works. The steps are real. There's a spiritual awakening that takes place in the depths of our soul that enables us to experience profound transformation. I don't hate black people no more. I don't hate homosexuals no more. I don't hate the God Squad no more. The 11th step, God has changed my life. And listen, if you don't get offended, I'm telling you, I came in here with some issues. Today, I experienced healing, love, colorblind, all that good stuff through Narcotics Anonymous. And so the proof is shown in how we live. It's easy to talk, right? I talk all over the world. I've been talking for 28 years all over the place, speaking all over before Zoom. Talking is easy. Living is hard. You understand? And I got to learn how to live this and how to, I'll say this and I'll shut up. My daughter wants a car, electronic car, costs a lot of money, the insurance. I'm like, we're Puerto Ricans. Why can't you get a little Toyota like they, she wants what's wrong with you? She wants I didn't manipulate her. I didn't intimidate her. My body language. She asked me, Dad, what do you think? I said, baby, what do you want to do? You want to get this car, is fine. You get what you like. I'm different than you. And I was able to not manipulate her, not get, I got control. I was able just to love her, let her make her own decisions. So that might be a little thing for you, it's a big deal for me because I'm always the control. I'm always fixing, controlling, managing everything. To let other people be who they are is a great freedom to me. And it requires great spiritual muscle when you're a control freak like me. So I love you guys. Thank you for letting me share. Frankie, God bless you. I'm an addict. My name is Raymond.
Great job, Papa. Great job.
Thank you, Raymond.
Good job, Raymond.